Hello. Today, finally, we finished the scratch art project and some tag questions while you watch Jazmine getting groomed, and kind of quiet a lot in this video because she's just not quite herself. But at least she's still putting shit out, right? Okay.
Ready?
That was a short one. Ready for your blow dry?
Well, that's not what I was watching. Hoarder House? No. There we go. Nice burp. Well, hello everybody. I am speaking to you from the future. The voiceover is from February 5th, and the footage is from yesterday, February 4th. And, you know, I know some people like to watch Jazmine, little magpie, but it's not necessarily interesting watching when I'm not saying anything. So I'm doing a few tag questions over the top. And I looked online, and I'm having trouble finding tag questions I like. So I wrote a few of my own. My tag is focused on positive things rather than dredging up negative reminders or things that don't make you feel good. I wanted, especially this time of year, I know a lot of us are kind of struggling with the blues, the winter blues, but yeah, so this is stuff intended to build you up. And if anybody wants a list of these tag questions, I will, I guess I'll put them in the description of the video. So, question number 1. What is your favorite thing about your significant other? Well, my favorite thing about Brian is his sense of humor. He is absolutely hilarious. He's very good-natured, jovial, likes to prank and poke fun and tease, and always in good fun. Not always taken that way, but his intentions are usually good ones. But he's a very happy person in general with a great sense of humor. So that's my favorite thing about Brian is his sense of humor. All right, number 2. What are you proud of yourself for having done or accomplished? I think my greatest accomplishment that I take the most pride in, the thing that I think people didn't think I could do, couldn't accomplish, was flipping a house in Sheboygan. I had bought a rundown 2-family house. It's rumored to have been a meth lab and all kinds of stuff, and it was a real shithole. And for example, I gutted the kitchen and bathroom down to studs and learned how to do electrical work. I rewired the kitchen and bathroom. I had to add circuits to the main board for a Whirlpool that I was installing, so I needed 220. So I had to put in a new circuit, and I, rewired the whole thing and did under cabinet lights, over cabinet lights, toe kick lights, ceiling fan, canned lights, 3-way, 4-way switches, all kinds of stuff. And of course it had to be inspected by the building inspector, and I passed with flying colors. He said it was better than most professionals. And I ended up selling that house. I think I owned it for a couple years, and I sold the house for about twice what I paid for it. Now, of course, I spent a lot of money as far as putting into it to flip it, but I still made a tidy little profit. But I thought that was pretty good to double the sales price of the house in about 2 years. And I actually sold that house before I had it listed. My realtor had some buyers she was working with and knew that I was converting it back into a single family with the intention of selling it, and I wasn't done yet. I had the stairway put in, but I still needed to get the stairs carpeted, things like that. And she had told these buyers about my house and called me to see how long it was going to be till I was ready to list it. And I said probably another few weeks, maybe a month. And she said, well, if you're willing to list it with me today, I have them sitting here and they want to come and see it. So I quickly listed the house for sale, and they showed up 10 minutes later and bought the house. So that was pretty cool to have somebody ask me to list my house for sale because I had a buyer already wanting it. So that was nice. So that would probably be the thing that I'm most proud of is, something that's not typical for women to, tear down walls and rewire, and did all my own tile work and bought a wet saw, all that. So I think I did good. And I built my own fence rather than buying the stuff that you get, at the lumber store, the 8-foot panels. I didn't like any of those styles, and they were expensive. So I bought the boards and made my own fence, including making caps and wrapped posts and the whole thing for my little white picket fence. So that turned out well. Assembled the swing set. It was a store-bought swing set, but I assembled that together, and you got the big 4x8s, and they're heavy, and having to stand it up and all that stuff. So a lot of physical labor. You could tell by looking at me now. I don't do a lot of physical labor anymore, but yeah. So out of necessity, learning how to do things and doing it myself. Kind of like grooming the dog. I don't necessarily do a good job, but I certainly save a lot of money on paying to take her to a groomer. So it's all about saving money, right? Yeah, that would be that. All right. Next question is, tell about a recent time that you made someone's day better. That was actually this morning. My very first call of the day was a woman who was very upset right off the get-go, got transferred to me already upset, and she needed her policy rewritten. She had moved out of state, and so I was doing the quote for her, and we got to the part where, you know, I had to get some particular information, and she asked if that information was going to make the rate go up, and I said most likely yes, blah blah blah, it doesn't really matter the details, but she basically told me to go F myself, and she hung up on me. So anyway, the next call was transferred to me, and the other representative is telling me that this person is quite unhappy, but how is my day going? And I told her, well, you're transferring me my second call, and my first caller told me to go F myself. So I took a little time to do that, and now I'm back on the phone. And she burst out laughing and said, oh my goodness, you just made my day. I've been dealing with cranky people all morning, and that made my day. Thank you so much for making me laugh. So anyway, while she and I were talking, the caller that she was going to transfer over hung up, and she goes, oh, well, she hung up. I guess I'm not transferring her. And she goes, well, back to what you were doing. And I said, okay, I'll continue with where I left off. So that was kind of fun. All right, next question. What do you want your retirement years to look like? Well, Brian and I have talked about this a lot, and for me, it's no longer having to work and being able to travel. I really want to see Europe. I love going on cruises. Want to go to Australia. So part of my retirement dream is to be able to travel, see the world, and part of it is also for him to get what he wants. And I've talked about this before. Brian has his captain's license, and his dream is to get a charter boat and take tourists or locals or whoever charter fishing and spend his days fishing and getting paid for it. And, you know, that's my hope for him. So traveling for me, and him being able to spend his days out on the water doing what he loves. So that's kind of that part of it. And then of course, you know, I hope that all of my kids are back in touch and coming to visit frequently. Grandkids in the picture, and, you know, coming to visit Christmas time and Disney, and spending, you know, maybe a month or so with us during the summer, things like that. But that would be my retirement years. Maybe have an RV or something and be able to go during the summer up to where the kids are living if they're up north, and spend time with my kids and my grandkids and my daughters-in-law, and, you know, things like that. Probably join, I don't know, some clubs, gardening clubs or book clubs or whatever, and still doing the crafts and doing the YouTube. So that's kind of my idea. It's just a life of leisure and no financial worries, and spend time with friends and family on a regular basis. Yeah. Well, looks like I filled up the time, and talk to you later. All right, let's go brush ourselves off outside. I'm covered in dog hair. Come on, girl. Come on. Oh, got all this garbage too. Good. Come on, Jazz, let's go outside. So much dog hair up my nose. Go potty. Good girl. So at the Super Bowl party last night, because of course it's all the people who live on our street, I told you he got the one job for the woman that works for the HOA. Got another job. So he's got the one for the one woman tomorrow, and then this other person that was at the party wants him to do their house on Wednesday or Thursday, so got another job. Come on, Jazmine. Cackle poopies. Go potty. Alright. So that's good. Maybe I'll keep rolling. Is she gonna come in or not? You look very pretty. Yes, you do. You got a tiny little head and a gigantic body. You little barrel. All right. Get something to drink. And... oh, good. See? He's using a roller. Good. I really kind of half expected that he would do it by hand, but yeah, that's good. Yay. Alright, I don't have anything to say. Alright, so, Jazmine. All fluffy. The time has come. Let's do this thing. Let me get you up here. And let's see here. That looks okay, huh? Sounds pretty good. All right. I did both coats. Oh, enough coats. I guess I don't want to pull it off. But I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do over the top. This is the scratch art. And I was thinking about different ways of transferring a pattern onto it, whether I was going to find some sort of like carbon paper or whatever. And I thought, well, I have stencils. So this is the stencil that's on my walls. And it just so happened that it was like exactly the same size as this piece of cardboard. So why not, right? It's worth a try. And if it matches the wall and it looks cool, hey, why not? So for those of you who haven't seen it before, there it is, okay? This is the stencil I used. Let me get it back down here. And I'm not feeling particularly chatty today. I printed tag questions. So I figured, why not? We'll see how it goes. Brian is painting the patio, the back patio. Which means I have a little while to be able to do this. I'm wiggling this thing, okay, because I'm a giant person who makes the whole house shake when she walks, okay. With the clearing of the throat, I'm really getting irritated by it, so I apologize. This is just a wooden, whatever, for doing your nails. It came with, I think, the acrylic nails set, but it's a glorified toothpick or skewer. Figured I'd try that. And of course, my glasses. I can't, my other ones are probably downstairs. The ones I like. We'll use these for now. Ooh, I'm sore. Now, I wonder if, I'm going to pause you for a second because I want to be able to see what you're seeing. Hold on. Let me see. All right, I guess that's good. Now, I don't think I want it that thick as far as peeling that much away. So I thought I would just, and I nicked it. So I thought I would just kind of do whatever within the stencil, but that you'd be able to see the overall picture. Because I don't know what I'm doing. These glasses aren't the best. Now, I do have this little nick out of here, so I'm going to kind of try to hide that a little. There we go. Yeah, this seems to work pretty darn good. My stencil got a little banged up in that drawer, shoving things in there. Had to do a little repair work to it. I ripped it. And let's see what else is new. I'll give Jazmine her bath and trimmed her toenails, and trimmed her hair and her little feet. And let's see what else. Yeah, the neighbors fed me way too many shots last night, so I got really tired really fast, and I left probably right around halftime, figuring, you know, Brian was like, you shouldn't go home, that's you know, I want to stay out, social slip up. He was like 5 minutes behind me, and he came home too, making me feel all guilty for leaving, and right behind me. Whatever. Okay. So I just did an outline. And now I have to figure out something I can do to mask that. So we will do, let's see here. Just do something like this. Looks like a little court jester's hat now. Some places it's really coming up easily, and other places the black paint seems to stick a little. And I can already see why you would want to get a little brush to kind of clear up the stuff behind you. But I'll go get one in a minute. And yes, I'm aware of the chirping. Our smoke detectors, the batteries are all dying one after another. So we keep just, rather than doing them all at once, you know, because we're trying to get so much other stuff done, we're just dealing with them as they go off. And we haven't, I don't think we have any more batteries in the house for that size right now, so we'll have to go get some. But I can check with Brian and see if I can find batteries. But for the meantime, we're just going to deal with it. Sorry, kids. Yeah, maybe some of these spots, the wax, didn't get enough wax on it that it's not really coming loose, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's see here. All right, let me go get a brush. I was, though, however, a little bit surprised at how expensive these were when I was at Michael's. I mean, that seemed like a lot. Now, I'm sure there's other places that they're a lot less expensive. And I'm sure that most of us don't buy anything full price at the craft stores. Let's see what I want to do with this. Kind of jack that up. Yeah, that didn't work out too well in the corner. I must not have had enough wax over there. I don't know. But yeah, it was like 16 or 17 bucks for 10 sheets. That's over $1 a page. But I suppose, depending on how much time you're spending on it, $1 for a craft, that's not bad, but I don't know. Well, part of this was going fine, and now this part, not so much. So we'll just keep on trucking. I might end up pulling the whole thing off. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Yeah, that doesn't really want to come out of there. Okay. What else? Let's see here. Yeah, see, I'm not talkative today. So let's try tag questions. Now, these tag questions, I almost have an idea that they were translated from another language because the grammar's a little sketchy. Number 1. I might skip around. Maybe I should grab a pen so I can mark off the ones I've done. Yeah, let me do that. Hold on. All right. Number 1. Does love mean sex or is more than just sex? See, grammar's not quite right. Does love mean sex or is love more than just sex? I'm guessing is what they meant. Love does not mean sex. Absolutely not. One word, prostitution. There you go. It's not. Enough said. For me, no, not the same. Love and sex are not synonymous. Okay, number 2. What do you consider yourself? Either an old or modern fashioned person? Old. I don't really even need to expound on that. That's, I think, given. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here we go, another one. Does this drive you crazy when you see this grid and then this, you know? I actually pulled it off to do this, but then my table has those seams in it, and I thought, and I don't want to take the chance of this with the table, and then, so I put it back on. Do you think love result in heartbreaks, or do it glue hearts? Again, I'm going to translate that myself. Do you think love results in heartbreak, or does it mend hearts? Both. You can't be heartbroken unless you were in love. And what better cure for heartbreak than to be in love again? So both. And there we go. Do you prefer love or trust? And mention its reason as well. Do I prefer love or trust? Trust. And why? Well, I don't know. These are not good questions for me today. I should just shut up and play some Queen. I don't know. I have issues with trust. And that, to me, is important, to be able to trust somebody. You can love somebody and still not trust them. But you would hope that if there's anybody you could trust, it's the person you love. Not always the case. I'm going to get off the love questions here. Let's see here. They have them kind of by category, so let's see. Oh, that's right. I was going to mark off the ones I did. I did that one. I did that one. And I did that one. And I did that one. Okay. Oh, you know what? I recognize some of these. Some of these are the ones that Diamond in the Rough. No, not Diamond in the Rough. Aussie Diamond Painters did recently. I just watched it today. Some of these are the same questions. I think we all keep running across the same lists over and over again. All right, let's do this one. If you are a billionaire and don't have a spouse or kids, to whom will you leave your entire wealth and property? Okay, who do I leave it to? Now, this is all hypothetical, so like whatever charitable cause is meaningful to me. Okay, now if it's my life right now, let's say something happens and my entire family's wiped out and I got $1 billion in life insurance. Who am I leaving it to? I think I would leave it to split up amongst anybody who has ever helped me in my life, whether it was financially, emotionally, just random acts of kindness. I would probably try to seek out as many of those people as possible and will my fortune to anybody who's ever helped me. So a whole bunch of people. A whole bunch of people. That's what I would do. And people who helped me because they wanted to, not because, you know, they felt obligated or something like that. Or because they expected something in return. You know, people who helped me out of the kindness of their hearts. People who did it not expecting anything in return. So that's what I would do. Try and pay it back. And probably pay it forward some too, to people who I know who could use some help of their own. So that's what I would do. I don't quite understand this question. Would you like to be rich in a single night? Does that mean rich for only one night or to become rich overnight? I don't know, but the answer to either one would be yes. Sure, why not? Sounds like fun. Why not? Okay, that's a weird question. Do you have a full-time job? Yes, I do. I work for a insurance company, and I am in the customer preservation area for people who are talking about leaving or moving out of state. It's my job to keep them. So with that, I deal with people who are either upset or stressed all day, every day. Whether it's they're unhappy, stress, or they're moving, stress. I deal with stressed out people all day long. It can be exhausting. But I do enjoy it. And I work from home, which makes it a lot more digestible, having that much stress every day on the phone, is that you're in familiar surroundings, in your own comfort zone. It kind of eases the stress from myself. Yeah, the clearing the throat thing, I'm noticing. I'm trying to pay really close attention to it. Yes, there's something going on that's causing me to need to do that. So I'm wondering, Sherry, if I need to go to a doctor and find out if I have acid reflux. Because it's... Oh my goodness. It's annoying, that's for sure. Wonder what other reasons you could have for needing to clear your throat again and again and again. Because something's going on. Yeah, this is not perfect quality here. I would have had complaints if I sold this. Just not good. It's like 40% of it is working great and the other 60 is not turning out so hot. So yeah, I think I'm going to give up on this idea and just find another use for all those really cool paints. I don't need this stress in my life. This wasn't worth it. Kept me busy and out of trouble for a while though, huh? And it's completely different than what, you know, you guys are doing with the scratch art where you have to follow the lines and stuff, because I'm following a stencil, which means not a lot of skill involved. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what it looks like when I pull it off. Okay. Do you like to have coffee or tea? Coffee. I don't care for tea, except for chai tea. But in general, don't like tea. And coffee has to have lots of cream and sugar in it. Because I don't really like coffee either. I just drink it because I need the wake up in the morning. But I do like it with the cream and sugar. Then it tastes good. But black coffee, blech, yucky. And I don't like coffee flavored food. Coffee candy, coffee anything. Nope, not my thing. Alright, let's see here. What are you doing at the moment? Well, you're watching it, kids. I'm doing a jacked up version of scratch art. It was worth a try. It's not a bitter disappointment. It's just a bit of a disappointment. We'll see. We will see how it turns out once I pull that off. Who knows? I bet if I wasn't recording it while I made the sheet and paying close attention and not distracted by, you know, making a video, probably would have taken my time and done a little bit better job with the wax and the cover coat. So I'm not saying this isn't a good idea. I'm just saying I didn't do it very well. Okay. Have you ever got failed in any exam? Yes, I believe so. I think when I was an accounting major, I think I failed exams or came pretty darn close because I dropped those classes, withdrew from them, and changed my major. So I'm guessing I probably failed them, but I don't know for sure. I don't remember. Not very often, though. I tended to be, you know, a B+ student for the most part throughout school. 95%. Like a school system, that would be an A, but overall, you know, my grade point average was just below an A. Because you had gym. Pull my grade point average down from not doing well in gym. Not an athletic person. Yeah, see, I didn't do very well on the edges here. It seems to work a whole lot better in the center. Gosh, with the throat. Oh, it's driving me absolutely crazy. But yeah, around the edges, it's not coming up. Whatever. I'll just get through this. Okay. What? Have you ever abused your favorite teacher? Okay, I immediately went to physical abuse. No. They probably mean like taken advantage of. Again, I think this list was translated into English. Abuse my favorite teacher. No, in no way. I don't get that at all. That question's just... It would make more sense if a teacher who you were their favorite student and you took advantage of it. But Weird question. I didn't tend to be the teacher's pet very often. I was too quiet. Very shy. However, I did tend to get along best with the teachers who weren't very popular with the other kids. I don't know if it was a empathy thing for the teachers who didn't fit in. You know, there's always those teachers who are giant nerd. Nobody cares for them. They get teased behind their backs and whatnot. Those were the teachers I tended to enjoy more, get along with better. Missed that, missed that, missed that. Yeah. See, now I'm just like flying through it because I just want it over with because I'm not enjoying it. Okay. Let's just do that and pull this back and just kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. I don't want to take off more than, you know, a couple sides of tape because then I won't get it lined up again quite right. So we'll do, come on, just pull it back a little bit. It's kind of cool. Kinda. Okay. Kinda cool. Alright, we're gonna just scrape away all this. See if I won the lottery. Yeah, something's not going very well over here. It's actually ripping apart the cardboard too. Whatever. This is kind of therapeutic. If you don't like the futzy stuff and you just want to go at it like a lottery ticket. Yeah, it didn't come up over here and I actually dug right through the cardboard. Okay, well, whatever. We'll do that one and this one. All right, let's find another question. How long is your bed? Can you mention its dimensions? I don't know. It's a king. I don't know the dimensions of a king. I think it's 66 by 66 or 64 by 64. Or is it 72 by 72? I should know. I used to sell mattresses for a living. I don't remember. I just know it's square. Yeah, this is horse shit. Okay. Yeah, I didn't do something right on the edges here. This is not turning out. If you did this and you were careful, you probably make it turn out. Yeah, I'm going to go on to something else as far as another craft. I tried. Let's see here. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good at all. Let's take these off. And we'll do these. Sure, let's just go for it. Let's try this other end. All right, let's see here. What is the name of your favorite animal? Its name is Jazmine. No, favorite kind of animal? I couldn't pick one. I like the looks of peacocks, but I certainly wouldn't want one as a pet. Those suckers are loud. I like panthers. I think they're pretty. I like dogs. I like horses. I like cats. I like birds. I like a lot of animals. But I can't say I have a favorite. I'm not, like, some people are gaga over wolves or horses or, whatever, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. I don't have a favorite animal. If I was to be able to be some kind of animal, I always thought some sort of bird. And of course, you humanize it and you're thinking, well, I don't want to eat worms. And I wouldn't want to be a carnivorous bird. So I want to be some sort of berry-eating bird. So it's like too many stipulations to pick. I like squirrels. But yeah, I don't have a favorite animal. When I go to the zoo, the one I want to see the monkeys. I think it's, things that you can humanize, the human expressions and reactions and that kind of thing. And I think that's kind of what draws me to, like squirrels, because they got little hands and they pick up things and they're cute and you can imagine them as little spastic people. Same thing with Jazmine and her moods and behaviors and emotions, where, some animals just, you can't really humanize them. Like, I don't see, like, a lot of human qualities in a salmon. I don't get into fish and marine life. Brian loves that shit, and I just, no, not my thing. So, like, when we go to Disney, he always wants to go into the aquarium over at Epcot, check out the fish, and I have never been into going to the aquarium. Just not my thing. So, but we go because he likes it. He likes it a lot. I suppose, if anything, dolphins, because they're the ones that are, I guess, the most human-like. And then you got seals and walruses and all that stuff. They don't have them there, obviously. He likes the stuff that's underwater. I like mammals and birds. And birds, you know, just because of their feathers and how pretty they are, not necessarily because they act like people. I know some people have pet birds that can be kind of human-like, but I think that's what draws me to an animal, is if I can relate it to human behavior. Yeah, where it actually worked out well and the paint comes off nicely, it's fun. But where I didn't get enough wax, I'm guessing it wasn't enough wax in those spots. Not fun. Kind of frazzling. And I'm sure all this scratching noise is probably driving several of you absolutely crazy. And for those of you that it wasn't driving crazy, now that I mentioned it, it's probably driving you crazy. Kind of like, you know, me clearing my throat all the time. For those of you who didn't notice until I said something, now you're focused on it, waiting to see how often I do it. Yeah, see, this is shitty over here too. Yeah. Well, I think it might look cool when I pull this up, though. And I've probably got enough scraped away now that I'd be able to lay my stencil back in the same spot. See, now I'm going to try and mask clearing my throat with humming, because I'm super focused on it. I've got to go find a battery for that thing soon because it's driving me crazy. Yeah, I'm not in a great mood today, am I? I'm kind of... Good day to stay off the live chats. Yeah, this side's horrid. Nothing wants to come off over here. Yeah. Well, shit skis. Almost done, kids. Almost done. I did meet a new couple on the block from down the street. Very nice. Kind of clicked a little bit with the wife. They've been on this street since, I think she said, I think like 14 years or something. I think she said 2004. They, husband's in the military, and so they spent a couple years in DC, and they were down here before, sold their house and wanted to come back after the stay in DC. I think she said she was originally New Jersey, he was originally New York, but she also has the the issue with the seasons, and said that it even affects her down here when it's cloudy, that she gets kind of lethargic and doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to get out of bed if the sun's not out. And I can relate because it was, remember, it was, well, I haven't posted it yet, but it'll be at the beginning of this video, I'm guessing. Our trip to Michael's, and it's all foggy. Hasn't been particularly sunny here for a while, and I think it's starting to affect me. Yeah, see, I just can't wait to get this done so I can stop doing it. Because it's not working out well. Okay, that's good enough. We're done. We're done, we're done, we're done. All right. Actually, I should just pull that off and then wipe it because there's really no point. I'm just wiping it. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna pull this off. Let's just take a look and see. Get that tape off. And again, it'd probably be a whole lot better if I hadn't screwed up the wax on stage. All right. There we go. I'll take you down and let you see my hands. Yeah, I need to wash my hands. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do this on my white table because it's not coming off my hands. So. There we go. All right, let's try and put that where the sun don't shine. Okay. Whatever. It's not getting hung on the wall. Let's just put it that way. All right, on to the next best thing. He almost done with the patio. And you can see the difference pretty clearly. This is where everything was stacked. So we are in the process now of putting it all back so that he can finish. But it's looking good, honey. Looks great. Good job. Your back is screaming at you, isn't it?
What's that?
Your back is screaming at you. Oh, today I got told to go F myself.
From a customer?
Uh-huh.
Who would you do it?
It's just, she wasn't happy.
What'd you do?
I followed guidelines. She didn't like him. So.
Oh, you did something wrong.
I didn't do anything wrong. So much for taking my side.
I did think you did something wrong.
Oh my God, okay. I thought the whole thing was you're supposed to support your spouse.
I do support you.
Then why was your immediate response is I did something wrong?
What did you do wrong?
See? Okay. I would grumble too. I am grumbling. Okay, enough of that.
Sorry you had to watch that. Well, you didn't have to. You chose to, but it wasn't really that exciting. Maybe the next one will be a little better. At least the sun's out today, so things are looking a little better. But she's got the new projects to start, so she's excited, and then maybe she'll be a little more peppy. One can only hope.